Alright, here it is, a little video update of latest progress around here. I think the last video we shot was back in mid-October, October 8th. It's now mid-December. Gosh, coming up on Christmas already. What have we been up to? We've moved in. Hopefully that's apparent. Still feels like we're unpacking and getting settled. It's evening time, but the light seems to be showing the place pretty well. In addition to moving in, which was in itself a pretty big process, obviously, we finished plumbing the entire house. We've got hot water and cold water going to that sink there. Hot water, cold water, all new lines going to all the bathrooms, the shower, down the hallway here. Put in a couple of new lights. Haven't done anything really much in the bathroom. We did put in a new set of what would this be? The trim package, the faucet, the controls, the shower head. And in order to replace all the plumbing behind there, we had to take out the tile. We're gonna actually get a little help putting the tile back together, and then eventually redo this bathroom. Still have a little drywall behind the toilet to patch up because that was replumbed with all new PEX. Sometime in the next year we'll probably redo this bathroom altogether, but for now it's going to work pretty well. We've got more than our hands full with redoing the basement at this time. Carrie's office. Oh, that's right. Wiring project to go. Eventually that switch will work. Carrie's office. She's moved in. Productive. That's Carrie Stiles, ladies and gentlemen. Productive. Wall of books. She's ready to go. Down here, the old bedroom. Oh yeah, the windows in the other room are pretty fogged up. Quite a bit of condensation on them. In the mornings we get some condensation in here. It gets pretty hot. Well, excuse me, it doesn't get pretty hot. It just gets pretty warm inside and pretty cold outside. And with those old windows, there's not a whole lot of a temperature gradient that goes on. It's hot on one side, cold on the other, so we get a lot of condensation. They're pretty inefficient. We'll eventually have to redo those. We're pretty happy to have all the floors laid bare. I think in the last video there was still quite a bit of carpet down. Oh yeah, there's the cool built-ins. Hey, look at that. We've got thermostats on the wall because in addition to moving in and painting and plumbing and running some electrical, we've also put in a new heating system. I'm going to pause while we go downstairs, check out the heating system. Actually, I'm not going to pause. Let's just walk on down. Carrie's got going on patching the holes where the that was the air return for the old heating system. Lights, here we go. Yeah, been busy down here in the basement. What have we been busy with? Primarily, it's getting the heat system in. Kind of hard to step back and take a look around, but there's all the insulation lined up. Not to put it in the walls quite yet, but we're going to start with putting it up here in the ceiling, because we've been up to is running all that PEX with the aluminum plates underneath all of the floor in the entire upstairs. We've got supply and return hoses going in each bay. You've got PEX running the length of the room with aluminum plates holding it up to help transfer the heat to the floor, which then radiates throughout the room. And then over here on this wall, kind of where all these rolls of insulation are currently stacked, we're going to have an in-wall radiator. Where is that thing? It's in the box over here. Yes, straight from Germany, the Buderus. And similarly, we'll have another one over here on this wall where that blue tub is. There's the PEX hanging down right now, where the radiator is eventually going to be connected. So we've also put in that back wall there. See if I can get back here where it's picking up some of the light. We've also started to put in some of that pink foam insulation, the rigid stuff. On over here, more insulation that's staged. Eventually going to go in. And again, as we look up, all above us and the whole ceiling above, which is underneath the floor of upstairs, we've got this radiant floor heating system in. Alright, I'm going to go over here, hit the lights. Yeah, that helps to light things up pretty well. You know, this was a long, tedious process. Takes a while to get the PEX run, the holes drilled, the PEX lined through it. Each one of these let's say runs of PEX are on one circuit that has one continuous loop that's unbroken, that starts at the boiler and finishes at the boiler. We have 3 circuits that are going to heat the living room and kitchen and entryway. We've got 1 circuit for each of the upstairs bedrooms, and then each radiator is its own circuit. So there is a little look at what probably to some is a really unsafe electrical box, and then all the PEX running through the ceiling is kind of dangling down there. Unfortunately, fortunately or unfortunately, I'm not sure what, but the washer and dryer that we had brought home from another job, we thought wasn't working. It was probably a little bit more of a wiring problem on my part, so that led us to buy this nice set on Craigslist. So we've upgraded for better or worse, and there's the new triangle tube boiler, Prestige Excellence. We're really psyched. This got hooked up just this weekend, marathon session on Saturday. We got connected with the guy who sold us the stuff, the wholesaler who sold us the stuff, connected us with a guy who's an installer. He came over. We finally got it turned on and running by, I think it was 10:30 on Saturday. But we wired in the outlets over here, covered it in plywood, and this is the main manifold where the hot water comes out of the boiler and then gets dispersed throughout the floor and then eventually to the radiators once we get those guys hooked up. Gosh, what do we have going on here? This is our backflow preventer here. This guy here is the pressure reducer, so that it brings in all the water at a much lowered pressure than what it typically comes into the house at. There's a little pump there. See that green button? It's a smart pump that modulates the flow of the water throughout the system. We're still missing quite a few parts, and we've got obviously the radiators and other things to hook up, but at least at this point we're installed. This is the bucket because it's a high efficiency condensating boiler, so there's condensate, perfect, on cue, that drips out. We're eventually going to get that hooked up and plumbed into the wall. That's kind of my job. I might even dive into that tonight. It's next on the list. And then up top, that big white PVC pipe is the exhaust. That goes all the way through the roof and vents outside. We actually have it going out past the end of the deck. That other opening is another task on my list tonight. That one there to the right of the exhaust, that is going to go out similarly outside and be direct air intake. These pipes up top, that's feeding on a separate line all of our domestic household water, showers, faucets for the sinks, etc. And it actually has a mini 14-gallon storage tank inside. Keeps the water really hot. It comes out and then gets mixed with cold water before it exits at, I don't know what it is, it's 140 or something like that for household use. Gosh, it's been nice. Hot water, pardon me. Hot water means a hot house, so it's been really nice to have heat on again. What are we on? Day 4 here with heat. It's luxurious. Amazing how much nicer it is to wake up in the morning and not have to like put on a hat, long underwear, and take a deep breath before you get out into the kitchen and make your coffee. Yeah, so the next steps for us here aside from those little tasks, are to put insulation up, as we've started to do here. Carrie's got kind of a little test going on. As we've started to do here, we're going to put insulation below all of the PEX under the floor, which will help keep the heat directed to the floor instead of just spilling out everywhere as it currently is. We'll get there. And then more demo to come and new windows and doors to put in at some point. And the bathroom. God, nice dark view, Eric. And we also decided along the way, before putting in the radiators, that we would take out the drywall that was along this wall. It was actually covered by just a 3/4 inch furring strip which held drywall on, and there was no insulation between the foundation wall and the back of the drywall. The only insulation was actually here in the pony wall that's built on top of the foundation wall, which is double 2x4s in there right to the back of the sheathing, which is insulated pretty well. We're just going to add more on the foundation wall and then in the 2x4s that we'll put up. So this will be pretty darn well insulated. In the basement behind the radiators to keep as much of the heat down here as we can. That's it for now.